The following game has been rated M for mature by the ESRB for blood, mild sexual themes, mild violence, and strong language. What that means is anyone under the age of 17, basically anyone still considered a child, should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf, and today we're returning back to Frostpunk. What, you guys aren't going to say anything? Well, fair enough. So, the premise of Frostpunk is that you are in charge of a steampunk-esque city. And you have to manage it, you have to make certain that the people who live in the city are fed and housed and, I want to say, appropriately entertained, but the environment and the reasons for us being there don't really involve entertainment much, because our city is set up in the back end of nowhere in the middle of the Arctic during a global ice age. So what's usually considered a heat wave is usually negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's only going to get colder from there. And the only thing keeping anybody alive is a massive coal-fed steam generator, which is both willing and able to supply an entire city's worth of heat and energy for it to power, provided it gets a never-ending supply of food. And if it goes down for maintenance or a catastrophic explosion, or just simply because we ran out of its favorite munchies, everybody dies. So there's that. And we've been playing for quite a while now. We've explored our general area, met the neighbors, stole some of their stuff. The neighbors have paid us back in kind by sending a naysayer to tell everybody that doom and gloom is approaching and we're all going to die. So there's now what passes for a separate political faction in the middle of the city, urging everybody to return back to London, because they think it's invulnerable. And while it may be to conventional means, forces like Mother Nature don't think so. And if reality is any indication as to how the game plays out, the forces of nature usually win, at least against pretty much anything man-made. So to combat this political force, we have decided upon the purpose of order and have deployed, I don't want to call them military forces, but somewhere in between your basic civil defense force and a police force. Has been set up to, well, not outright punitively attack the naysayers, certainly make certain that they don't burn the rest of the city down in their misguided attempt to escape. I mean, were it up to me, I would have just given them any spare food and supplies that we could not that we didn't need and just simply sent them on their way day one. Would have been like, here's your stuff, go. And if you manage to get there, find that's nothing wrong, and you manage to get back, I'll think about letting you in. That sort of deal. Game doesn't give me that option, so I am in the middle of, what passes for a heated political discourse. In trying to get them to stay, while they are trying to get as many of my people to leave as possible. I've never actually played up to the point where they try to leave, so I don't know if it's an instant game failure or you just continue on without those people. But I guess we're about to find out. This game is, of course, made by... Thank you again. And, that being said, let us begin. Alright, so this is the city. Doesn't have a name, but then again, when you're the last city on the face of the earth, all you really need to do is be called the city. So there's some basic metrics you do have to keep in mind. Basic resources of coal, wood, metal, and steam. Well, steam cores aren't really a basic resource, but your resources you use to build things are right here. Your resources to keep people fed are right here, basically raw food and food rations. Because we are running out, we can never seem to have enough food to feed everybody. We went back to soup. People will complain, but at least they'll be alive to complain. And we currently have 220... can't read anymore. Currently have 215 residents in the city, of which 112 are your basic laborers, 75 are engineers, and we also have one automation, which we stole from our neighbors of Winterhome. We'll get to them shortly and why I don't like them. So, and we also have 27 children, 3 in palliative care, and 10 prisoners, because the Londoners, this is the political faction that's trying to get back to London. And they keep disrupting the city and taking my stuff and attacking my guardsmen. So we built a prison, and it's actually surprisingly warm given the fact that it's a prison. In fact, if I could, it's probably the warmest building in the entire city. I mean, if I could, I would actually probably see if I can fit everybody in the everybody living in the city in more of these things. But I can only build one, so I can't. And it is currently negative 40 degrees Celsius, and it is only going to get colder in less than a day. In fact, it's going to drop... Oh, goody! Yeah, that says 3 levels, so it'll drop to negative 40 degrees C. And 203 degrees lower, and it can't get any colder than that. So, progress, I guess. And then in about a day, it'll go up to 2 levels, so it'll go from negative 40 it is now to negative 70 to a balmy negative 50. Also, there's other 2 metrics you need to be aware of: discontent and hope. These are your major stats. So discontent is how angry people are, or how ill-tempered or just non-content they are. And then hope is how hopeful they are, and various metrics affect both. Of the 2, hope is, as always, more important. People always need hope. And because if you zero out hope, then you have a limited amount of time to get it back to a suitable level, or they kick you out and I guess the city continues on without you, or it dies. The game ends at that point, so it doesn't really matter. However, discontent I think can be maxed out, and at most people shout and throw things, but the city still survives. We also have, that's the economy setting, we also have a book of laws, which allows us to either pass laws in the adaptation or purpose book, which allow us various benefits and disadvantages. We can only pass so many laws so often. forceful persuasion. Explaining to inmates the enormity of the wrongdoings is a more direct manner to turn them to society faster. The ability of forceful persuasion reduces time prisoners spend in prison. The prisoners may be hurt or killed. The discontent will rise. So basically, we deal with persuasion, and we persuade the prisoners of that their wrongdoings are bad in, let's say, ways that defy the Geneva Convention. We also have the Propaganda Center, which allows us to build a propaganda center, requiring 40 wood and 40 steel. Of which I have. So it gets me the propaganda center, raises hope, shows detailed info on the sources of discontent, and it allows me to distribute bulletins raising hope. I will, however, have to build a propaganda center, and discontent will rise. Requires 10 wood, and I can only use it once every 2 days. There's also a tech, in addition to laws, this is the construction menu by the way, but in addition to laws, there's also the tech tree. So this is the other way we manage to get, well, new stuff. And currently we're researching a depot upgrade because I'm constantly maxing out on coal. And when it gets colder, we have to turn off the heaters, otherwise people start freezing. And when you do that, you burn through more coal. So it's better to have a larger stockpile before it all hits the fan. So that's the basics. So I also have 16 people unemployed. That just means that they will be the guys who, well, build the things. Let's increase these. Now I have 12 people unemployed. So let's pass the law to build the propaganda center.
Hear me, hear me. New law in the city.
Propaganda center. So this hash marked area is known as the heat zone. It is how far the generator can send out its heating effect. So any building inside this will get a bonus to its heat capabilities. Any building outside of it won't. This is a steam hub. It basically allows me to build small portable heat zones. This one's currently off because the only places within its range are the infirmary and the hothouse and a few other buildings, I believe. So it's not needed to be on constantly, so it's currently off until, well, the work shift happens. By contrast, this one houses a few houses, so it's got to be on all day. Otherwise people freeze and then they die. So let's build the propaganda center because this space is, well, literally large enough for it exactly, and it's right next to the other steam hub. Let's just build this right now. Oh look, it's got ridiculously high building insulation. It's kind of neat. Furthermore, we probably should be doing this more often, but let's round up some people. We have arrested 10 Londoners. So there are now 29 people causing problems. And then discontent rises. Well, I'm guessing discontent rises because of the propaganda center. So they'll be asking us how we do. I did not read that. We got one person sick. Space readily available. And this place is completely full. Care house has, well, 3 people. And the propaganda center is built. We track people's attitudes and influence them. We need engineers for that. Glorious, may the flag fly over our city forever. This sign will remind everyone that we're a city of order. Now we're well, truly a city of order. This people support it, I guess, or people, I should say, are paid to support it, because that's how things work. All right, let's raise hope again. Whereas people must be told repeatedly that we survive every day thanks to order. Yes, in times of trying, order is what keeps us together. People abandon the Londoners. Fewer people want to go to London thanks to high hope. First Londoners convinced to stay. Sir, several of the people who want to flee to London have decided to trust you and stay. They say that your recent decision convinced them there is hope for us yet. I am glad to hear that. Because they leave in 4 1/4 days. So hopefully if I can keep hope high enough and keep arresting people who disobey, I'll eventually manage to convince them all to stay, and they don't die horribly. This probably will bite me in the butt later. Let's also send out patrols, because that decreases content and raises hope slightly. Although it does cost me food, and I don't have enough rations in stockpile to feed everybody right now. Although the hunters are coming back and they bring quite a bit of food. Although now there are plenty of people sick. Get this thing on. Turn on its heater. That's not the right thing. And it's too cold to do anything right now. It's always too cold to do anything. Get this steam hub to level 2. Now we only have 15 base people sick, and the infirmary is at least warm enough to function. Although the hothouse is not. Neither is this med tent, apparently. How much to build a second hospital? Right, I forgot I needed a spare heat core, or steam core. So I can't actually build another one. And also the cookhouse is too cold to operate, so we can't actually get more food. And discontent rises because 27 people are freezing. And we got 19 hours worth of coal left. We're taking in 1,013 units of coal per day, or at least we were, and we're using 1,116. Because everybody is freezing, but there's nothing I can do about it. Mild frostbite, a citizen has become gravely ill. And the resource depot has been researched. Okay then. So we can build. We now research a steam coal thumper, which allows us to build, I guess, higher end coal thumpers. Yeah, so it basically allows me to build faster. Well, it builds a coal thumper that it produces more coal, I guess, faster or in greater amounts, so it can have more gathering posts around it. Gathering post insulation. Let's actually go with. Okay, I'm torn between hothouse insulation and healthcare insulation. People are freezing, so let's go with healthcare. Maybe we can't queue these things. And we have severe frostbite. Citizen had to have a limb amputated. Losing a limb, one of our people had to undergo an amputation. Working in freezing cold left him with such severe frostbite that there were no other choices. We must do something. We technically already did. We have to wait 1.5 days before we can sign the prosthesis law. Okay, on that note, everybody inside of a freezing building I would say that isn't needed, but to be fair, pretty much everybody's needed. Although this is too cold anyways. Shut you down. Child shelters I can't turn off. Propaganda center's fine. Cookhouse turns off. Gathering posts turn off. Same with the thumper. And this place. Everybody turns. I should have done this as soon as the weather dropped. Everybody working in a freezing environment gets the day off. Of course, I'm no longer producing coal, so everything's dropping. What now? So, Londoners' prayer and discontent are few are persuaded. A member of the Londoners is talking to the crowd. He's trying to scare as many as possible from joining the exodus to London, but his visions of doom ring false in the ears of people who are content with the situation in our city. Let him speak. The number of Londoners will rise. Chase the speaker away. The number of Londoners will rise slightly. Disperse the crowd. Discontent will rise. People may get hurt. Chase the speaker away. Part of me actually just wants to attack him. No, leave him be. He's on duty. Stop it. Evans, they can't. No, stop it. Our captain sent him. What was that about? Alright, so let's control the time. Amputees. People may become amputees as a result of serious frostbite, work accidents, or other mishaps, or after becoming gravely ill and being saved by radical treatment. The amputees can't work, but they still need to be housed and fed. In the game, you can research upgrades that will find solutions to their problems. Alright. Shut you off too. And somebody died. Londoners prayer and discontent. Sir, the guards you sent to chase the Londoner speak away. He's dead. They hanged him from the generator. A piece of paper was found printed on his lifeless body with liars written on it. They went too far. Yes, they did. Next time they talk, we're just going to attack. Dang it. Hope drops. Can we just arrest them again? No? Okay. Yeah, well, we don't have anybody producing food, so rations are zero, so people will probably start starving soon. However, we do have a fair quantity of raw food left, and they usually burn through the raw food surprisingly quickly. Alright, scouts have reached Winterhome. I'm almost tempted not to know. Alright, so we climbed to the edge of the city. We stood there speechless, staring at the scene of devastation. It's a city of the dead. Most of the buildings destroyed and the generator has exploded. Okay. Let us explore. So, the fall of Winterhome. The streets of the ruined city are littered with scores of dead bodies. The city chronicle describes the shortage of food and citizens' increasing despair. The following squabbles, rise and ascent into anarchy, fights for dwindling resources, and eventual starvation. This entry, God forgive us for eating our dead, there's no hope. And we discovered a snow cliff and an American camp. May they rest in peace. Cool. So Outpost Depots allow you to assign people to work as an outpost team. Outpost Depot allows you to create outpost teams. Click on the building and deposit panel. Sending an outpost team will establish an outpost in Frostland, a location rich in resources. The outpost will send these resources to the city once per day until you order the team to return to the city. So I'm guessing we can set up an outpost here in Winterhome, which will deliver 150 wood every day. I don't think I actually need spare wood. And we have a snowy cliff. Tall snow cliff, there's a hole in it and it's inhabited. We can see a lone figure bustling about. Say, there should be another one. Looks like ridiculously close. Several big tents, no sign of life. A flag flies over them, the American flag. From this distance, we couldn't mistake the stars and stripes. Alright, so for now, I want those 2 steam cores back to the city. We can worry about what's next after that. And I can imagine the riots that'll happen. You know, every time we deal with Winterhome, hope falls further. Even though we already know what happened because their naysayer showed up. I still don't believe that they're actually dead. I think that's just simply a, they faked the city's destruction and they, rather than just simply attacking us directly, they sent someone who was willing to die for the cause to our city, sow discontent. We fight amongst ourselves and kill ourselves, and then they swoop in and harvest the corpse. Alright, so arrest more people. Frostbite. Okay, frostbite. And more people, well, one person abandons the Londoners. I'll take it. And so it'll be -50 in less than a day. Let's not lose hope. We can make it work if something. Look sharp. Remember, we mustn't shirk from our duties. Oh, we're actually maxed out on prisoners. And it gets warmer. That means we can turn these things back on. Hopefully.
Come, lad. We must work harder.
Bedpost never technically went down. Oh, and the coal mine. Of course, that's everybody. We're out of food, but we have 180 raw food, so I'm assuming once this thing powers on, just once the workers get there, they'll be able to start making food so everybody can eat. Well, once one of the 2 steam cores get here, I'm going to level these 2 medical posts and build a second infirmary. Because the infirmary, I believe, is better insulated and can deal with the palliative care problems. Actually, I was gonna say there's no one here, but there's actually 2 people still here. So we'll keep the care house for now. Where are these workers? Oh, everybody's in treatment. And healthcare facilities are now insulated. Let's work on the hothouse next. Okay, so everybody in the cookhouse is resting after a hunt. So we stop these guys, move these guys out, these guys in, do a little dance, yada yada yada. There is being treated for something. I had 6 people sick who aren't working. At least this is working now, hopefully, so people can now eat. Say, what's that? But that's just the shadow. So we're actually running low on coal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the generator's steam level. It's probably going to cause me problems in the long run, but I don't have enough people to cover everything now. Now 30 people are arrested. Building. Got 14 people here. Patients in this tent. It's a bunkhouse. Let's see. Let's pause for a second, and 0 patients here. So I got 14 people. Cold homes, heating problems. So Captain, some of your people concerned about the low temperatures in their homes, but since we point out it's easy to fall ill when it's cold. And ask you to address the problem so we can heat 11 of the cold homes within 2 days and keep them heated for 2 days. Let's heat all the homes. We have to start heating 22 cold homes within 24 hours to keep them heated for 2 days, or I won't address this right now. Discontent will rise slightly. Well, the reason why I had to drop the heater down, won't drop. I know everything is cold. I'm working on it. I still like to think I'm working on it. I don't have the people to keep everything. I don't have enough people to keep all the coal production facilities running to gather enough coal to feed the generator and have a surplus when I run it at heat level 2. I would like to run it at heat level 2. I would like to run it at max capacity all day. Turn this entire crater into a summertime event. But I can't do that, and I have to juggle plates, and I'm not certain, given the fact it's going to drop to -60 in about 2 days. Yeah, so I think that's what's right now, so it would be 1 day, 2 day. I do technically have enough time. If I turn the generator up a level, I should have enough time to heat all the homes before the temperature drops again. But I'm not certain I'm going to have enough coal to do that. And once we run out of coal and the generator stops, we die. Let us see what we do, what we can work on. Kick it back up to level 2. Steelworks is actually turned off right now. So I need steel to build things. But I need coal more. turn off the wardrobe for right now. What was that? Oh, they're in prison. I was going to say, why are there 6 untreated people, but they're all arrested right now? We've got 6 hours of coal left. To turn you off. I'm going to turn off your heater. Your heater. Fine, we'll keep them on. We need the hope. And we lost somebody. So the poet's suicide. So one of our people has committed suicide. In his spare time he wrote poems about loss, suffering, the death of hope. Propaganda Center waged a campaign against him to protect our people from his influence. Now people might blame us for his suicide, unless we make it look like he drank himself to death. So do it and burn his poems, disconnect where I slightly, or stay away from it, hope will fall. We are not letting hope fall. Scout Unit number 1 has returned safely to the city. We can disband it, but we need them out there. So, they're returning back. They are going next to this settlement because it's closer. And we have exactly 1 hour left of coal. I wonder what happens when we run out of coal. Oh, we can pass a law. Not that it matters. Let's pass the prosthetics law. So new blueprint prosthetics available in the factory. Amputees for prosthetics and medical facilities will be able to work again.
A new law has
Except we need a factory to do that. People have abandoned the Londoners. And people are hungry. It's closed at this time of day. Why is discontent rising? Oh, an unpopular decision. Promise broken. You promised people keep warm. You broke your promise. Hope falls. Discontent rises. There are prisoners running free. Oh, goody. Prisoners large. So all the prisoners have been released from one of our prisons. People are scared when they see criminals on the street. We'll do something to reopen the prison. We'll address that. What happened to the prison now?
come, lads. We must work harder.
Oh, we're out of coal. Yeah, I know we're out of coal. What would you like me to do about that? Well, since the promise is broken, drop it down to level 1. heaters back on. And start making food. I knew I shouldn't have done that. At least it's good to, I guess it's good to know that the city doesn't instantly fail when the generator runs out of coal. Of course, not really a fan of that loss of hope. Gravely ill, and I can't arrest the 14 remaining Londoners because the prison's full and I can't build a second prison, and because everybody tried to escape, all their sentences are now set to 4 days. Hothouse installation research. Let's go with the cookhouse next. And let me guess, I no longer have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough steel to... Alright, get the steelworks up and running. 4 steel per day. So why do we still have people starving? So they'll probably eat once their shifts are over. You know what? Send out a patrol. And get all the heaters back online.
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
Probably don't need it for the coal mine operated by the automaton. Now what? So Londoners prey on discontent, few are persuaded, just beat the living. Can't put our people at risk. Just beat the snot out of the guy. Tired of these people complaining. I got just over 1.5 days to convince 14 people not to leave. My prison's at capacity and I can no longer arrest more people. So I have to rely on hope, but hope isn't high enough for them to send out more propaganda. That's right, I don't have enough steel to build the infirmary. Because everybody's in prison. We're not even making wool. Well, not even making wood. Propaganda Center, active vandalism. A loyal citizen has reported that he saw a group of young people vandalize the propaganda center. They wrote, "Wake up, people," in big letters on the outer wall. What should we do? Move the writing, hope will rise slightly, or punish the guilty. Discontent will fall, people may get hurt. Let's just remove the writing. I'll take an increase to hope over a decrease in discontent. I was hoping to use the last couple, use the prison to arrest the last remaining ones, but that doesn't seem likely now. People abandon the Londoners. One person abandons the Londoners. So I'm going to lose 13 people instead. What is this? I guess that's an elevator to get out. So I'm going to lose 13 people instead of 14. It can't last. We have to do something before it's too late. We need law and order, but also competent leadership. Well, I can promise them law, I can promise them order, I cannot promise them competence. On the plus side, we got plenty of raw food now, so... Scouts have reached the American camp. There's not a living soul in the camp. We found a dozen emaciated bodies. Surprisingly, most of them were amputees fitted with prosthetics. So, starved Americans. The American camp was well supplied with everything except food. Searching the tents, we found more victims of hunger. Most of them badly worn but sophisticated, are offered limbs bearing a company symbol, Tesla Manufacturing. We bury them and take their equipment. Site discovered, temporary settlement. I need the steel, and I won't say no to a steam core, so take that. And what's the new one? See 2 rows of small wooden huts, but no smoke or the sun of life. All in all, looks all Kemp, but temporary settlement. Get the steam core and the steel back.
No time to waste. We've got work to do.
Discontent rising or falling? I can't really tell. So the Londoners will leave in less than a day. I guess we can see how this plays out. Oh goody. Temperature will drop 1 extra level in 3 days. So it's going to drop from in 1 day it'll drop to -60. 2 days after that it'll drop to -70. And I don't know if it's going to go back up. Plus side, we now have enough steel to build an infirmary, so let's dismantle these medical posts. That actually lowers discontent, because there's and no longer overcrowded. So let's build that infirmary. And the cookhouse insulation has been researched, so it should not be as cold as it usually is. Of course, now I don't have enough spare steel to actually research anything. At least not until the scouts get back. I should probably research improved heaters. Or it just simply eats more coal. Plus, I have more rations than more rations than people. So we can keep the people fed for a full day.
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
Send them out on patrol. Guys there. Angry about the cold. Captain, people are angry about the cold in their homes. They have gathered to protest against your neglect of their suffering, demanding you act immediately. The lenders have infiltrated the crowd. They're using the people's anger to turn them against you. We better do something. So let's heat some homes. We need to heat 11 homes to keep them heated for 3 days. That is not going to happen. Heat all homes. Not going to happen as well, because the last time we tried that, we ran out of coal, and we are not producing any coal any faster. Disperse the crowd, or I won't address this right now. Discontent will rise greatly. Disperse the crowd. Oh, and turn it to steam level 2. Because it's going to get colder before it gets warmer. Scout Unit number 1 has returned safely to the city. We now have 59 steel to our name. Okay then, on that note, send them back out. I want to see what's at this temporary shelter. We have 15 hours left of coal before it stops. Have a day's worth of coal supply left. Thought I was planning on heater efficiency. Factories and okay. Yeah, I need a steam core to build a factory. I also need 30 wood because I'm not producing much like steel. I'm not producing wood because it's too cold to actually run the wall drill. And I also don't seem to have the people because everybody seems to be arrested. The four people who aren't getting care are currently in prison. Decided not to break the law, they wouldn't be in prison. Pass another law. What's this? Even in this harsh new world, people will still need to raise their spirits, to work in good company and stuff drink at hand. So this law, another one can be passed in 18 hours. Public building, patrons of public house list to content, open rise slightly. I have to build a public house. What do I need for that? Actually, no, I do have the wood. Alright. Between people who face deadly threats every day can be resolved in a duel. After interest in this law, no one will be reduced permanently. Each spontaneous duel will slightly reduce discontent. Sometimes people will be killed in a duel. You know what? Let's build a bar.
Hear me. New law in the city.
I'm gonna put this bar. What can I build there? The steam from the generator, which has 9 hours left of coal to its name. And let's put it here. Of course, I don't have anybody to actually build it. Ah, 2 people abandoned the Londoner, so 11 people will leave. You know what? Nope. I need to go. You know what? So the people working in the hothouse build the public house. And the temperature falls even more. Darned if I know. I mean, we must. Goody, temperature's going to fall even further.
Come, lads. We must work harder.
Of course, I don't have actually anybody to run the thing. Londoners will leave in 2 hours. And it's cold everywhere. Well, not exactly. Where are people protesting? Now what? Oh, the Londoners, they're leaving. So, sir, the time is at hand. The Londoners have gathered around the generator for the last time. They're going to leave the city. It's the last chance to stop them from committing mass suicide. Whatever they said or did, they're still our people, even if they no longer think so. Sadly, hope is too low, and for us to say, stay with us, you'll die out there. Order the guards to stop them. Many people will be hurt, some may die. Let them go. 11 people will leave the city forever. Hope will fall. Equip them for their journey. People will live the city forever. Hope will fall slightly. Londoners will receive 110 food. I skip this to see what my resources are. I should not have chosen that. Well, it did say if it was up to me, I'd just give them whatever I could spare, and send them on their merry. Can't stop them, so good luck. May God watch over them. Who cares? Maybe they're right, maybe one is the last bastion. Hope they'll eventually see reason. It's tragic, we should have persuaded them to stay. So the exodus. The Londoners file out of the city. One of them stops in front of you for a moment. She looks like she's about to say something. She sighs, shakes her head, and follows the others. Soon vanish in the whiteout. The tracks erased by tumbling snow. We shall pray for them. We chose the wrong book to do that. So, we are now at 202 people. And slowly freezing and starving. Well, not really starving. I wonder if I'll ever find out what happens. Oh, we have to open the public house now. I have a decent stockpile. I guess I don't need hunters everywhere. Oh, for what's hunters up? I don't think so. But it's going to have to make do with 3 people. Public house built, hope rises. Well, they're gone. I have expected the game to just suddenly stop, but
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
It didn't. 11 people more probably just walked off to their deaths, but not much I can do about that. I mean, there was plenty I could have done about that. I could have, stopped them forcefully. I could have made certain, done everything to keep hope up. But I didn't do those things, and it doesn't matter what you could have done or what you should have done. All that matters is what you did. Okay, so we can pass another law. Alright, so what's this? Moonshine. Give people a bit of liquor now and then to soothe their aching bodies and souls. Every meal slightly discontent. Eating soup causes less discontent. House of pleasure. Oh, look, a brothel. Our hardworking people deserve all the relief we can provide. Some of them yearn for the pleasures of the flesh. Prostitutes can be employed in public houses to further lower discontent. Hope will fall slightly. I'm not in the business of having hope fall. Also not in the business of letting people just die. So I say that after letting 11 people walk to their own deaths. Alright, so outside of the Book of Adaptation, we have the Book of Purpose. So I can get the foreman, which appoints responsible foremen, will make sure that people work as efficiently as possible. Strategically placed agitator. Strategically placed loudspeakers remind our citizens of the importance of their work and increase their efficiency. Pledge of loyalty. People make mistakes. We can give them a chance to redeem themselves if they agree to cooperate, of course. So people persuaded to sign a pledge of loyalty, which turn them into secret informers. Provide a permanent hope bonus. Discontent will rise slightly. Pass this before the Londoners left. And then again, forceful persuasion, and then we have whatever this on fire thing is. So, tempting, but our next biggest, because the Londoners left, we no longer have to deal with them and the damage and chaos that they ensue. My next issue is trying to survive in an ever increasing, with temperatures dropping even further. And better heating won't help. We need more of it, and the only way to get more of it is to get more coal. The only way to get more coal is to build more facilities, which I have neither the manpower nor capabilities to run. So we'll go with foremen. They require 10 food and only work for a day and can't be used for 2 days. But we're running out of, well, everything. That's not true. We do have plenty of food. It's just everybody's cold and there's nothing I can do to fix that. Now what? It's the streets, sir. A group of drunk men were disturbing the peace, pushing each other, screaming obscenities and harassing women in the street. Our guards intervened and restrained the drunks before anyone was hurt. Some were up, hope will rise slightly or punish them. People may get hurt, discontent will fall slightly. Still in the business of higher hope, so sit them down outside of the range of the generator and hope that they sober before they freeze. Why is discontent rising? Oh, it's cold at work. It's always cold. An empty night behind our leader. It's the only way forward. Let's make it through the day. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Yeah, I'm looking at the temps and it won't be. Well, technically, 2 days from now it won't be.
Come, lads. You must work harder.
Alright, so let's use the foreman on the coal facilities. Why am I doing it on the thumper? It's not what's collecting the coal. And we have improved heaters, which will burn through coal even faster. Don't have the wood for the factory. Don't have the people for the factory. Don't have the people to work the wood drill to get the wood to build the factory. Man, I remember when running out of steel was my problem. Alright, so stop working on steel and start working on wood. I'm probably going to regret this. Now what? Refugees from the Frostland, unexpected guests. Captain, a group of exhausted survivors have reached our city. From their frantic explanations, we know they've come a great distance, that many of them died along the way. The phrase "doom is coming" keeps being repeated, and they say many more refugees are following them. They're begging you to help them, sir. So, we'll help them. We will send out search parties, bring them to the city, or let's be cautious. This group will enter our city. You'll decide what to do with the others later. I mean, I said I'd help as many people as possible, but after the issues with the Londoners, and what I'm assuming is still an ongoing war with Winterhome, Yes, I'm well aware in-game they probably all died. But it wouldn't surprise me if this is the type of game that throws that kind of curveball. Let's allow this group to enter the city. We will decide what to do with the others later. So I'm going to get 70 extra survivors. And how many houses, how much housing do I have? One, two, three. Pause it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. How many can each one hold? 10. I mean, I have enough people to house 213 people. Why is it at 213 people again? This doesn't count the prisoners. It's weird. I mean, they're all still technically in there. Yeah, I mean, I have enough facilities to look how the hunters are just called. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have enough. I should have enough bunkhouses to fit 220 people. There's all the situation with the incoming refugees. The situation is simple: show up, work, try not to die. Don't break anything. Don't cause harm to others. Beyond that. More people to produce more coal. They're still over an hour out. The scout team is. What now? Afghanistan to grim news. Sir, there's been a terrible accident in one of our industrial facilities. Almost an entire team of workers has been killed. To cover it up and tell the people they went on an urgent expedition. It's better for all the accident we covered up, or no, tell them the truth. God darn it. Why can't people stop dying? That's silly. No, I'm tired of lying to the people. 6 of our people have died, and hope falls. Get this graveyard fit. I guess we're going to find out. Now I definitely need. Scouts have reached the temporary settlement. The settlement seems to have been abandoned. It consists of several tiny wooden shacks now completely empty. An upright boulder stands in its center. Center of the settlement is marked with an upright boulder. On its roughly planed face, someone chose the filing. May God forgive the genius who sacrificed human lives. Name of progress, we can't. Exiles of Tesla City. We won't touch the monument, but we decided to dismantle the huts for wood. Site discovered, fishing village, walled colony. So I'm guessing Tesla City is much like Winterhome. It's another city. That's a lot of wood. Walled colony and fishing village. I want to point out, this colony is closer than Winterhome is. So how is it we found Winterhome before we found this place? Bring back the wood. I need the wood. what are we researching next? We're researching... We can't research. Can't research anything. We need 30 wood to research things. We only have 29. Oh, discontent is low. Goody. Alright, so let's research the steam coal thumper because we need more coal faster. And if this allows us to get more, to feed more gathering huts, we can put more gathering huts here. And we're gonna get... How many people? Yeah, we're going to get 27 workers, 21 engineers, and 22 children. I worry about any extra housing needs once they get here, because I have no idea how many houses I'm actually going to need. Oh, and this is ridiculously cold, so where's the steam hub? Should have done this before. Cancel that. So I don't think this gathering hub will be in that range. Let's put the steam hub here.
Rest time. Work is done for today.
Now what? Cold homes. I can't heat the homes. I would like to heat the homes. I would love to heat the homes. But I can't even heat, well, I can't even maintain the heat level that we got. Why is somebody hungry? We got plenty of rations. True, it's all soup, but... Oh goody, we can pass another law. Moonshine it is. Didn't even stop to look.
New law in the city.
I hope people will enjoy their liquor in moderation. I hope so too. Last day keeps the worries away. Alright, so the Londoners are no longer a problem, but now we have the second punch of more people coming in. I won't say no to more people. I mean, I got labor shortages all over the place. So long as they don't cause me any more of a ruckus, I won't stop them. I'm more than willing to... So long as I can keep them warm and fed, I'm more than willing to have more people in. So this is a mainly industrial, so we're just going to have it set to working hours. So, more people are coming. We're running low on coal, so we're going to have to drop that. I know people won't like it, but it's either that or we freeze. I mean, those are my options. I need 100 wood and 50 steel to get to the next level, which is what will get me houses. And that's probably what I should be aiming for next, as well as heating. And we're also going to need to build the steam coal thumper, which should allow me to build more gathering huts around it, and if I can keep them stocked, we should hopefully get more coal faster, which would allow me to have the supply to actually run this thing at a level that keeps people, if not fine, well, then, if not content, then at least bearable. But that is another issue for another day, because I am calling it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague and have a good day.